What if the very thing that made Russell Westbrook a legend was also the thing that made his teams so beatable? We rightly celebrate Westbrook for his historic effort, his relentless motor, and that iconic "why not" attitude that fueled a Hall of Fame career. He's the NBA's all-time leader in triple-doubles, an MVP, and a member of the league's prestigious 75th anniversary team. His greatness is set deep in the record books. But there's another story, one whispered in film rooms and felt in locker rooms, about how that same greatness, when left unchecked, became a weapon against his own teams. This is the paradox of Russell Westbrook. It's a story of how legendary effort, channeled through a high-usage, inefficient, and often chaotic style, turned his best attribute into his biggest liability. Today, we're breaking down how Westbrook's greatness became his weakness. To understand the curse, you have to appreciate the gift. Russell Westbrook didn't just play basketball, he attacked it. From the moment he stepped on a court, his energy was a force of nature that just overwhelmed people. This all came to a head in the 2016-17 season, a revenge tour for the ages after Kevin Durant left Oklahoma City. Westbrook did the impossible. He averaged a triple-double for an entire season, something only Oscar Robertson had done 55 years earlier. He set a record with 42 triple-doubles that year, won MVP, and captured the imagination of the entire sports world. He wasn't just stat-padding, he was bending the game to his will. With averages of 31.6 points, 10.7 rebounds, and 10.4 assists, he single-handedly dragged a depleted Thunder roster to the playoffs. It felt like the ultimate proof of his "why not" mentality. If one guy could do everything, why not just do it every single night? The triple-double became his signature. He'd go on to average a triple-double in 4 seasons total, a mark of statistical dominance we'll likely never see again. On paper, this was the resume of an all-time winner. But games aren't played on paper, and just beneath the surface of those staggering numbers, a dangerous habit was taking root. The central conflict of Russell Westbrook's career can be summed up in one metric: usage rate. It measures the percentage of a team's possessions a player uses through a shot, a free throw, or a turnover. During his MVP season, Westbrook's usage rate was an unbelievable 41.7%, one of the highest in NBA history and even higher than Michael Jordan's peak. He wasn't just the engine of the Thunder's offense, he was the offense. But carrying that kind of load comes at a cost, and it's called inefficiency. For his career, Westbrook is shooting around 43.9% from the field and right around 30% from three-point range, numbers that are alarmingly low for a guard who shoots that much. The problem wasn't just the misses, it was the type of shots. His diet often consisted of contested mid-range pull-ups and optimistic threes, which are basically the least efficient shots in modern basketball. This was made worse by a high turnover rate. His pedal-to-the-metal style led to risky passes and out-of-control drives that often ended in the other team getting the ball. For every incredible assist, there was often a head-scratching turnover that led to an easy bucket for the opponent. So while the box score showed 10 assists, it didn't show how many extra possessions it took to get them, or that they were canceled out by costly mistakes. This is the mathematical trap of Westbrook's game. A team only gets so many chances to score. When one player uses a huge chunk of them at a below-average rate, it puts a hard cap on how good that offense can ever be. In today's NBA, the best offensive players have gravity. They pull defenders toward them even without the ball. Think of Steph Curry warping a defense from 30 feet out, creating open lanes for everyone else just by standing there. Russell Westbrook has gravity too, but it often works against his own team. Because his three-point shot has never been a reliable threat, defenders just sag off him when he's off ball. Instead of pulling defenders out to the perimeter, his presence often invites them to pack the paint. This clogs up driving lanes for his teammates and makes life harder for big men. For years, teams have essentially played 5-on-4 when the ball isn't in his hands, daring him to shoot. This problem is made worse by his tendency to stand still. Superstars are expected to be constant threats, cutting, screening, and moving to stress the defense. Westbrook, though, has always been most comfortable with the ball in his hands, running the show. When he gives it up, he often stays put on the perimeter, which lets his defender become a free safety, roaming around to help out on other players. This is where the paradox gets really clear. You could argue that his historic rebounding numbers for a guard were a product of this same issue. Critics have pointed out that instead of getting back on defense, he would often crash the boards from the perimeter. While that definitely padded his stats, it was a risky strategy that could leave his team vulnerable to fast breaks. The very desire to be involved in everything also made him a difficult piece to fit into a modern offense built on spacing and movement. This pattern of huge individual stats followed by team disappointment didn't just happen once. It became the story of his career. Let me know in the comments which version of Russ was your favorite to watch. And if you enjoy this kind of breakdown, consider subscribing for more deep dives on the game's most interesting figures. The evidence isn't just in the stats, it's in the string of teams that embraced his talent, only to hit the same ceiling. After Durant left OKC, Westbrook's MVP season was heroic, but what came next was telling. Paired with all-stars Paul George and Carmelo Anthony, the Thunder were expected to be contenders. Instead, they were bounced in the first round of the playoffs 2 years in a row. Despite Westbrook averaging a triple-double in those seasons, the offense was often predictable, relying entirely on his solo creation. Next up, the Houston Rockets, where he was paired with another high-usage MVP, James Harden. The theory was that their friendship could overcome the awkward stylistic fit. In reality, the floor spacing was a nightmare. Defenses built a wall in the paint, and while they did win a playoff series, the experiment ended after just one season with a second-round exit. A trade to the Washington Wizards offered a fresh start. His numbers were wild again. He averaged another triple-double, led the league in assists, and pushed the Wizards into the playoffs. But the same old problems showed up. In the postseason, he shot a respectable 43% from the field, but the Wizards were still easily handled in the first round. Then came the Los Angeles Lakers. Joining LeBron James and Anthony Davis, this was supposed to be his chance to finally win a title in a supporting role. Instead, it was a mess. His lack of shooting killed the Lakers' spacing, his turnovers frustrated teammates, and his difficulty adjusting to a role alongside other stars was on full display. The team, widely seen as championship contenders, missed the playoffs entirely. Even his more recent journey tells the story. He found success as a high-energy role player with the Clippers, then had a brief stop with the Nuggets, and in late 2025 is now with the Sacramento Kings. His willingness to accept a lesser role showed real growth, but it was also a quiet admission. The old formula of building an entire team around his all-consuming style was not a strategy for winning at the highest level. The regular season is a marathon where pure talent and effort can steal you a lot of wins. The playoffs are different. It's a 7-game series where your weaknesses get put under a microscope and exploited. For Westbrook, the postseason has consistently been where his greatness turned against him. Throughout his career, his efficiency almost always drops in the playoffs. Defenses get tighter and coaches scheme to take away your strengths. For Westbrook, the game plan has always been simple. Pack the paint, go under screens, and force him to take the jumpers he's struggled with his whole career. After reaching the NBA Finals in 2012 with that young Thunder team, he never made it back. Most tellingly, in those 3 post-Durant seasons in OKC where he averaged a triple-double, his team failed to win a single playoff series. The same relentless aggression that made him a regular season monster often led to him forcing bad shots against set defenses, killing his team's chances when it mattered most. So what is the legacy of Russell Westbrook? He is without a doubt one of the greatest athletes the sport has ever seen. His motor and his raw, unfiltered passion are the stuff of legend. To deny his greatness is to ignore a career full of historic record-breaking moments. But his career also makes us think about what greatness really means. Westbrook's brand of greatness was individualistic, a force of nature driven by sheer volume and will. It was the kind that could raise a team's floor and make sure they were never truly awful. But it was also the kind that put a low ceiling on their potential. His inefficient, ball-dominant style was often at odds with the core principles of modern championship basketball: spacing, efficiency, and adapting to what the defense gives you. His story forces us to ask a tough question. What matters more? Is it the historic stats and the ability to put a team on your back, or is it the ability to elevate the whole team, even if it means sacrificing your own numbers? Russell Westbrook was a statistical marvel who played with a fire few could ever match. But in the end, that fire, channeled the way it was, too often burned his own teams. His greatness was real, but it was a greatness that ultimately became a weakness.